got an interview with Federal Ammunition today, talking about the 30 Super Carry, addressing some of the chamber pressure concerns and just general info about the new round. Let's check it out.
Hi, Chris Locke, the Federal Booth 2022 SHOT Show. Been asked just to talk a little bit about 30 Super Carry. So, brand new cartridge we designed from the ground up with the idea that with what we know about making ammunition, what we've learned over the last several decades, 100 years that Federal's been around, and that combined knowledge with that and Spear and everybody else, well, if we're going to build a cartridge, handgun cartridge for today, who would it be for? And that, of course, would be personal defense, concealed carry. And then knowing that, what are the target parameters for it? So from a terminal performance standpoint, so if it's for concealed carry personal defense, terminal is going to be the number one thing we're concerned with. And there's kind of two families of products in the handgun world for terminal performance, everything up to and including 380. It's kind of one family. You get small incremental gains as you go up, but there's always compromise in that family, right? So you can't have penetration and expansion and all the terminal effect that you want. You have to give something up kind of in that family. And then there's a jump to 9mm where now you're in that critical range with all of the FBI's long history of studying it, where you can get critical penetration depths, you can get the expansion you want. So you're getting the terminal performance that we consider kind of or what the FBI considers the minimum threshold that they'd like to see. So the target was to get to that 9mm performance threshold. And then the next benefit for the consumer would be, well, if you're carrying it, you want it to be concealable. And the other benefit, of course, it is obvious the last few years especially, is to carry more rounds, just to be able to have more with you. So we started looking at, could we get to 9mm terminal performance with a smaller projectile? And after several versions of iterating, we ended up with that 312 diameter projectile. The 30 came out of, originally that's what we started with, the idea that we're going to do a 30 caliber, and that's kind of the minimum we were looking at and how that would make sense. So we ended up with the 312 diameter. We're getting near 124 grain 9mm performance. So it actually, the 100 grain projectiles that we're working on for Super Carry surpass anything in the market for 100 grain, 115 grain terminal performance. We're right up against where the 124 is. And so that got us to that level. And then the benefits beyond that become, now because it's smaller, you can either fit more rounds in the gun or you can build a smaller gun around it. So that was kind of the thought. Then asked kind of from a pressure standpoint, right? It is a high pressure round. It's designed to be a high pressure round. It actually uses a small rifle primer. And it's the whole case, there is no parent case. We designed the case from the ground up to be what it is, so it's designed to handle the pressure. The case is built that way. And then just for a little bit of peace of mind, right? So we've worked with several gun manufacturers already. Smith & Wesson and Nighthawk are the first ones to bring guns to market. But there's many more that have already prototyped and played with it and shot the round, and none of them expressed any concern about the pressure levels. So the other thing that comes with pressure that might be a concern is it's going to be loud, there's going to be a lot of flash, there's going to be a lot of recoil, right? So we had media day, and a lot of people got to shoot it, and the response is all the same, which matches what we have on paper. It's actually a little less recoil than 9mm. If you shoot a lot of 9, you're probably not going to notice the difference. If you shoot a lot of 380, you're going to notice that it's less than 9. Right? It's obviously more than 380, but then the flash and report also about the same as 9mm. So,
do you know of any gun manufacturers that are planning on building a firearm around this actual round?
It will happen, but it's taken time, and the market's crazy, right? So everybody's so busy. We've talked to several, and the responses we get from a lot of people is not a matter of if, it's when, for most of it. And other thing is we're talking to some manufacturers about full-size guns with just a lot of rounds in them, and there's been a lot of chatter about PDWs, carbines. So
I think it would do well in the carbine.
Yeah, so it because the round is designed to be what it is, it's not something modified, right, to be a more modern cartridge. It's actually built with the intent of it being a high pressure, high performance handgun cartridge. And part of the other side effect of that is it's got really high sectional density. It's really accurate and has really good penetration potential because of that. So that little bit narrower bullet moving a little faster. As it turns out, it's spectacularly accurate just because inherently in the design of the bullet it worked that way. So.
Awesome. That sounds great. I appreciate your time.